Hi, I'm Stephanie. I feel like survival can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, it's all about making it through one day and getting on to the next. The following books all talk about teens who are trying to survive, whether it be in a forest, in the wilderness, or just their everyday life. The first book is My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George. In this book, Sam Ghibley runs away from home, does something that all of us think about doing or have thought about doing, only Sam really doesn't. He runs away and he lives in the Catskill Mountains all by himself, away from home, away from people, away from grocery stores, away from electricity. He uses everything he learned from his dad and from a bunch of books that he read about survival. He learned how to hunt, how to cook, and even how to make his own clothes. While he's away, Sam thinks a lot about why he ran away and how long he wants to remain unfound. The second book is another classic. This is a book that I was never assigned to read in junior high, and I was so jealous of the kids that got to read it. It's Hatchet by Gary Paulson. The action happens really fast in this book. The plane crash takes place in like the second chapter. Brian finds himself all alone in the Canadian wilderness. He only has his one small hatchet to survive. Well, he has that and himself, which he remembers his English teacher told him, "You are your greatest asset." Brian learns a lot from all of his mistakes, and he does what he can to survive as long as he needs to. The third book offers us a different take on surviving in a different kind of wilderness, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This book is seriously action-packed. It's got glitz, it's got glamour, and it's got gore. In this story, the main character, Katniss Everdeen, is a girl who knows how to hunt to feed her family, but she's also wise to the ways of the world around her. She sees what's fair, she sees what's not fair, and she uses her unfortunate position in the Hunger Games to raise awareness. She fights to the death, yes, the death, with a bunch of other kids in a wilderness that is really controlled by other adults. It may sound confusing, but trust me, this book is exciting, it's fast-paced, and it's really fun to read. It's kind of like Survivor on steroids for kids. It's awesome. The last book is Forged by Fire by Sharon Draper. And this is again about surviving a different kind of wilderness, the urban wilderness. In this book, Gerald is forced to go live with his aunt at the age of 3. 6 years later, when he's 9, his aunt dies and he has to go live with his mother, who is a drug user and a drug abuser. He also has to live with her husband, who's an alcoholic, a drunk, and an abusive man. But he also gets to live with his younger stepsister, whom he really, really cares for. He does everything he can so that he and his sister Angel can survive every day of their lives. He keeps them safe from really awful things. It's really an inspiring book. It's really true life, but it's inspiring to see the things that Gerald does in order to bring himself and his sister out on the other side. When you're a teen and you feel like nothing is in your control, Gerald does a good job at taking control of what he can. We all have our struggles, and it's really reassuring to read how different people survive in different ways. It gives us all hope. So these are just 4 titles of some survival stories. In your handout, there's some more titles that are nonfiction, fiction, titles for boys, titles for girls, something for everybody. If you have any questions, just let me know.